Daniel, how do I explain timeline therapy to my clients?
When it's time to explain timeline therapy to your clients, the best way to do it is to tell them a story. Think about it. When we grow up, we're told stories day after day, week after week, month after month. So find a story to tell them. So here's an example. There was a young woman who I was working with in the Middle East. She just had a very successful career. And then she changed jobs and got the job that she always wanted. But what she discovered was that in the first few months of this job, all of these fears had started to come up. Things that she'd never thought about, fears that she'd never had in her lifetime. And she called me and she said, "Daniel, can you help me?" So we started to do some timeline therapy. And I said to her, what is the root cause of this fear? The first event that when disconnected will cause the problem to disappear. Was it before, during, or after birth? And she said, before. And I said to her, was it in the womb or before? She said, in the womb. And I said, what month? She said, 6 months. So I said to her, what I want you to do is to float up above your timeline, over to the past, to position number 1, and notice the event. And I asked her, are you there? She said, I am. I said, good. Now float over to position number 2. So you're above the event and looking down on the event, and ask your unconscious mind what you needed to have learned from the event, the learning of which will enable you to let go of the emotion easily and effortlessly. And you can preserve the learnings so that if you need them in the future, they'll be there. And she floated over position number 2 and she's looking down on the event. And she said, I'm in my mother's womb. And I said, what's happening? She said, I'm scared. And I said, well, what's happening around you? She said, I can't see it. So I said, get down closer to the event. So she floated down closer to the event. And she said, I can hear a man's voice. And he's saying to Mum, it's dangerous. You have to protect your family. You have to protect yourself. And I can feel myself with all this fear inside of me. This is the first event of fear. So I said, well, tell me more about what's happening. She said, Daniel, I can hear my mum talking to a man. I said, what's happening? She said, Mum's buying a Volvo. And he's telling her about all the ways that this will protect her family. And then she told me all the things that she needed to have learned. Then I said, go over to position number 3. So you're above the event and before any of the chain of events that led to that event. And ask yourself, now, where are the emotions? She said, they're gone. And then she floated down inside the event to position number 4, looking through her own eyes. And when she was looking through her own eyes, as a 6-month-old baby, she noticed everything had changed. And instead of fear, there was joy and excitement. So she floated back up to position number 3 and came all the way back to now. Only as quickly as she could let go of all the fears on all the events, all the way back to now. And when she came back into the room, I asked her, can you smell popcorn? But she couldn't, of course. So we ended off with a break state. And I believe that if you want to install the 4 positions of the timeline, if you want to explain timeline therapy to your coaching client, just go ahead and tell them a story. So my point is this: people learn through stories, and just use this story that I've shared with you, or a real example. Your client will get it, your results will be magnificent.